Hello, let's start our workshop for today. I'm Alexandra and I'm an analytics developer at Holini. And today I will be your host for today's Enhanced Conversions workshop. Let's start with what we will see. First of all, we will discuss of why we should care about enhanced conversions and in general about every feature that promises measurement accuracy. Secondly, we are going to discuss about our solution, enhanced conversion, how it works and when we should enable it. On the third section, we will discuss about consent requirements. This is the uncomfortable topic of compliance, and today we will advise you based on our experience. Last but not least, we will guide you through a live demonstration on how to set enhanced conversion up using Google Tag Manager. Before I begin, I would like to let you know that we are just analytics developers, so we are not lawyers. We are not going to share any legal advice, and everything that we'll be sharing today, you must consult your legal department before making any changes. What you should expect from today's session, first of all, we will talk about ecosystem changes and what they mean for your business, how they affect your measurement tracking. Secondly, we will discuss about the pros, but of course we will outline the cons because as always, there are drawbacks on enhanced conversion setups. Last, as we already mentioned, we will have a step-by-step guide on the platform's real time for you to consult when you're trying to set enhanced conversions up for your accounts. What you should not expect from today's workshop, of course, in a 1-hour session, we are not able to provide an exhaustive list of all options. And of course, we are not having the perfect answer for each business vertical. If you don't find your answer today, you can reach out to my email afterwards and we can discuss how you can enable or benefit from enhanced conversions. Also, again, this is not a legal guide. Please consult your legal department before making any changes on your setup. And let's start. Why we should care? Actually, I believe the answer is more or less clear. We have a lot of changes. We are facing numerous changes since 2018, where GDPR was introduced to the European Union. We have restrictions from browsers like Apple or Firefox. We have the rise of AI technologies, and of course, changes in main platforms like Google Analytics. We were introduced to GA4 and Universal Analytics was sunset. And then we have consent mode and other privacy restrictions that are coming in the future. Users' expectations toward privacy lead to tracking restrictions. So we need to leave behind this mindset of set and forget, that we had our measurement in the background running smoothly, and we need to embrace new technologies if we wish to preserve, strengthen, and enhance conversion measurement. This can lead, of course, to better and quality data for our campaigns efforts and lead to better results. All of these changes throughout the years actually impacted a lot of day-to-day tactics of the marketeers, and among them, we are under questioning like how measurement and attribution works now, retargeting, lookalike modeling, and cross-site tracking. With today's workshop, we would like to provide at least one solution on how to resolve measurement and attribution, and we will touch a bit about cross-site tracking solution. So I don't want to scare you. It's not that accurate measurement, of course, it's over. We just need to be more strategic. We need to be more deliberate and proactive in terms of our measurement strategy. Because back then we had only one script just running in our website, and we had our data collection running smoothly. But right now we have to embrace new technologies, multiple solutions in order to confidently measure results. Back then, we had a wide range of signals where automatically sent data to our Google Ads from third-party cookies and other identifiers. But right now, because privacy expectations have risen, then marketers have access to less and less data every day. And of course, we have the rise of AI technologies. AI technologies and automation need quality data, need volumes of data that cannot be measured with only one solution now. So if we want to bring back results from the automation for our campaigns, then we need to make sure that we have accurate data and quality data. And to be honest, everything in Google Ads right now runs on automation. So we need to be proactive in our measurement. And this is why enhanced conversions came to place. Enhanced conversions is a feature that supplements your existing tags for better results. It's not a standalone tool. It enhances your own Google Ads conversions. We have two kinds of enhanced conversions. We have enhanced conversions for web and we have enhanced conversions for leads. There are different kind of features, even though they have the same name. Enhanced conversions for web are mainly about online conversions that are happening to your website, and enhanced conversions for leads are happening for your offline conversions. Today, I don't want to confuse you, and we will dedicate this workshop for enhanced conversions for web. Maybe in the future, we will have a workshop dedicated to enhanced conversions for leads. So what is enhanced conversions and what they do exactly? We are going to discuss them on a later time. But in a sentence, enhanced conversions for web captures has customer data like their email addresses from our conversion page and then try to match them to Google's login data. So you understand, because we have login data, then we will have more access to conversions. We will have we can observe more conversions. And because we have Google signed in data and logged in data, it's not that we lean against add clicks in order to attribute a conversion, but we can go beyond that. And of course, again, logged in data can be available to and similar to multiple devices. So enhanced conversions can help us go above and beyond from cross-device attribution. And if everything of this is happening, then we have more data, more quality data, so better optimization for our campaigns, which leads, of course, to increased revenue. Based on Google's global research, actually advertisers that have implemented enhanced conversions see a conversion improvement of 9% on search and 70.5% on YouTube ads. But today, I promised you, we are not going to outline only the pros, but we will also shed some light on the cons. And we were starting, I believe you're already wondering about how GDPR compliant is this solution. We are talking about the customer data, emails, and other data information that they provide to us every day. And we're asking them to share them with third-party partners. So this is the question, although we are going to share today with you how you can be transparent and how you can set enhanced conversions up in a more compliant way. But of course, you have to consider this question mark on this feature. Then we have the technical complexity. Of course, today we are going to showcase an easy way how you can set them up in Google Tag Manager while respecting, of course, users' consent. But each website is different, its setup is different. And maybe if you don't have the development resources, this setup can be more difficult compared to others. So you need some resources in order to set them up easily. Otherwise, there might be a bit of complexity. Then we have the results are not guaranteed. We shared with you previously, based on Google's research, that we have a 9% uplift for search campaigns and 17.5% uplift for YouTube. But this is an average and an overall image. These results are not guaranteed for your business. Enhanced conversions actually depend on a lot of factors like data volume, data accuracy, quality, in order to bring back results. So if you implement enhanced conversions, you should wait that maybe you will see only 1% uplift or 2%, and 9% is not guaranteed for your search campaigns, not also for your YouTube campaigns. And of course, because we are B2B businesses and usually our customers using professional emails to submit a lead, then this is this drawback that if an email or information is not a Google associated account, then enhanced conversions will not work. So if we don't have a Google associated email logged in a browser, then we are not going to benefit from this solution. But I talked a lot about enhanced conversions, but we haven't talked about what they are doing in practice. And of course, they improve accuracy, and let's see how this goes. So let's take an example. First of all, let's say that we have this user that he's browsing around the internet, and among the websites that they visit and the different content, at some point views your ad. For the purposes of this example, let's assume that this is a YouTube ad, which rarely are clicked, this kind of ads. And let's say that this signed-in user in his Chrome browser views your YouTube ad. After some time, same day or after some days, the user comes back to your website and performs a conversion. Let's say that they perform a lead, submit a lead form. When the conversion happens, and we need to get the customer data, like their email, for example, transform them, hash them, and send them back to Google. Then Google will receive this kind of data, and they will try to match them to their own logged in data from the users. If they find a match, then they are able to go back to the browsing history and actually identify the user seeing your ad and can attribute the conversion with better accuracy to your Google Ads account. This is something that cannot happen otherwise, and as far as we go with the third-party cookies limitation, this can go even harder, even for click-based conversions. But let's see what kind of data we can provide for enhanced conversions to work. First of all, and the most accurate information that we can provide for enhanced conversions is the email address. If we have email address, we can provide this information, and then everything can work with only this. Afterwards, we can use phone number and mailing address if we have them available, but you have to remember that these two information cannot work on their own. If you have phone number, then you should provide also email, or you should provide full name and address. If you are willing to use mailing address, then you should provide first name, last name, postal code, and country for it to work. As much data as you provide, even though email address can do the trick on their own, as much as data as you provide, then you can improve the match rate, so conversion recovery can work better. But the question actually is my business going to benefit from this kind of solution? And I will ask you to question yourself, like, do you get conversions from multiple browsers, channels, and devices? Or is your conversions have longer conversion cycles, like more than 1 day? Then if the answer to any of these questions is yes, then you will benefit from enhanced conversions. But of course, as we discussed and mentioned a lot throughout this presentation, there are some consent requirements, and we need to be very careful on this setup. Again, we are going to share our experience based on our accounts, but before you apply any of the changes that we are going to mention today, please advise your legal department. Okay, let's start about what Google says on how they're handling data that we share with them. First of all, we need to know that we have the full control of the data that we are sending. Google does not have access to our conversion page, and they cannot identify and get customer data on their own. We are the ones that we do the setup, and we are the ones that define in the conversion page what data will be served with Google. Then after that, immediately, automatically, the data are formatted and hashed in order to set them up. Everything happens before Google receiving any data. Google actually uses the hashing algorithm SHA 256, which is an irreversible algorithm. What this means is that when we get an email and we hash them with this kind of algorithm, then we create a string, which is a combination of letters and numbers, so it doesn't seem like the original one. So this combination of letters and numbers cannot be reversed by any way to the original value. So this can prevent for the customer data not to be identified and accessed by anyone, either from Google Ads or from Google. So they are safe when we are sharing this information with Google, not to go back to the actual user. No unhashed data will ever be shared with Google. If you try to do so, then they will block your request. Then all data is always securely sent with encrypted HTTPS. And let's see what happens when we have a conversion identified. If the value that we send from the customer data matches a Google user, then Google records a conversion and attributes it to the proper campaign. All the observed conversions are used to model conversions for non-signed-in traffic. All matched data are encrypted, and if we don't find a match, if Google don't find a match, then the data are immediately deleted. But let's take one step back. I want you to consider and understand what exactly we are asking customers to do. And let's start by defining PII. All this information that I have mentioned right now, like email, phone number, mailing address, are considered PII, personal identifiable information. And this means that with this data, we can identify an individual. And of course, this is a very serious situation in terms of GDPR and privacy. So every day, users are trusting us with their data. They're submitting information like geolocation, email addresses, credit card info, phone numbers, biometric data. All of this data are actually PII data, and they're very sensitive. We don't want to break the trust of our customers, and we don't want to risk to lose them. So you need to understand what we are asking them to do. We are asking them to take some of this information that they are willing to provide to us and use some tools to share them with a third-party partner. So you should understand that we need to be very careful. We need to be very transparent so we don't break this trust. And how we can do it. And of course, Google does not specify about consent that we need to collect in order to set up enhanced conversions. But there are some things that you can do in order to be transparent, at least. For the compliant part, you should discuss it with your lawyers. In order to be transparent and compliant, of course, we start with a cookie banner. This is a known way to collect consent. You should comply with all applicable laws and regulations for your country. You should have visible and available all the options for the user to select if they wish or not to be tracked. This is the first step that you need to do for your website. Then we have the inline consent, because accepting the cookies is not immediately assumed that people accept for their personal data to be shared with other platforms. So for enhanced conversion specifically, you need to obtain consent on form. Usually, when you have a form on your website, you will see that you have this checkbox like I agree with privacy policy of the company. But for enhanced conversions, the truth is that it's not enough. You need to add a checkbox, so you will collect consent for specifically sharing customer data like email or anything that they provide in this form. So this way, you let your customer choose if they are willing to share their information with you to use them for marketing purposes. Last but not least, of course, you need to update your privacy policy for this new feature and every other feature that you're using, of course, and you need to be specific. You need to mention what you're going to share and for what purpose. Name the feature, name the tool, the method, and if you also describe how it works, then it will be better. And that's it with our theoretical part, let's say, and it's time for action. We will do a step-by-step implementation for enhanced conversions, and we will follow 3 base steps. First, we will activate enhanced conversions in Google Ads platform. Then we will configure Google Tag Manager, so we send enhanced conversions information, and then we will verify your setup. Also, we will show you how you can validate your results in your Google Ads platform. Before I go to the platforms, I want to list some of the prerequisites in order for enhanced conversions to work. First of all, you need to have site-wide tagging, either the latest library of GTag.js or your setup should be implemented through Google Tag Manager. For enhanced conversions, you need a Google Ads conversion action. This setup will not work for conversions imported from Google Analytics, will not work from actions uploaded to your Google Ads platform. We just need a conversion that has as conversion source Google Ads. And last but not least, we need customer data on the conversion page. This can be achieved by numerous ways. The easiest is to consult your developer and ask them to share this information in a data layer variable. And this is what we are going to show today. But of course, there are other ways like with custom JavaScripts and other customization in Google Tag Manager. But enough with that, and let's start with the fun part. And we will start with Google Ads platform and how you can enable enhanced conversions in account level. First of all, you need to go to goals, conversions, and settings. In this window, when it loads, you will find the option for enhanced conversions, not the enhanced conversions for leads, but enhanced conversions. You should click turn on, and then you will prompt to agree to and sign these terms and conditions. I highly encourage you to read all of these links, how Google processes the data and what are the terms for this setup. And also, if you think that it is needed, then you should consult your lawyers if this is something that is suitable for your business. For the purpose of this setup, of course, I'm going to agree. This is a demo account, and we are going to select now the implementation method. For the purpose of this example, we are going to select Google Tag Manager. But of course, the option here is based on your own setup. If you have conversions with GTag.js, you should select Google Tag, or with Google Ads API, then you should use the specific method. I'm going to use Google Tag Manager, and I'm going to save my settings. Then we should go back to our conversions. Here I have created, of course, a dummy conversion for this workshop. And if you click on the conversion, you will see that we can verify that our setting is passed to the conversion, and we have enhanced conversions that are managed through Google Tag Manager. So the settings are done in the Google Ads platform, and now we can move on to Google Tag Manager. So in Google Tag Manager, I have my Google Ads conversion tag, and I have set it up by filling the fields about conversion ID and conversion label. Of course, for our own setup, we have the consent requirements for marketing cookies to be accepted. Otherwise, this conversion tag will not fire. And we have a trigger based on a data layer that we are sending when someone submits the contact form. So, by the way, if you don't have ready a conversion tag for your Google Ads conversion, conversion ID and conversion label can be found in your conversion. This is the ID and this is the label. Okay, so let's start by submitting a form and see the information that we have available when someone submits a form in Holini's website. I will accept my cookies, and then I will notice that my GTM loads, and I will go to submit. Let's accept for now, doesn't make any difference, and send a message. When we send a message, you will notice that we receive an event, which is a data layer push that we ask the developer to set up for us. This data layer push has an event name, which is the trigger for us for the action. And then we have some other information about what people are selecting in the form. And also we have the email and the checkbox value, which takes values either true or false. These two, we are going to use them for the enhanced conversion setup. So let's see how we can set up enhanced conversions. If you go to your existing conversion tag, as we discussed, this is a supplementary feature. It's not a feature that works on its own. You should see this option include user-provided data from your website. When you click on the checkbox, you will see that a drop-down menu appears automatically, and if you click, you can select a specific type of variable, this user-provided data variable. I'm going to create one from scratch, and I'm going to set it up with a manual configuration. As we already discussed, you are able to provide multiple kinds of information like email, phone, or other data like first name, last name, etc. For it to work, because I do have a data layer that I have available, the email, I'm going to create, we have a lot of variables. I'm going to create a new one, a data layer variable. I will name it. And if I go back to my data layer, you will see that my parameter is called email, and this is what I'm going to put here. And save. Then I have my variable here ready to enhance my existing conversion tag. Let me also name this variable and click Save. Now I'm done with the enhanced conversion setup. I can click Save. I can preview again my changes. And I'm going to submit again a form. Okay, let's go back to the event. And let's click on the tag that was fired, which is our own Google Ads conversion tag. You see that our include user provided data from your website is now true. Previously, it wasn't. And the information that I have provided is my email. The setup is ready. We have proper enhanced conversion setup. But I believe you should wonder what is happening with the consent, because I haven't configured the inline consent yet. This setup can be tricky, so we have a gift for you. We create a custom template variable that we will also share with you. Arthur will share the link on the comments, and you can go in and download it to use them on your own setup. How you can do it, then you should go to the variables in GTM. Oh, sorry, not the templates. You should click New, the three dots, Import. And you select the one that you downloaded. And click Save. Let's go back to the variables section and create a new one to see what we have here. Okay, what fields we have here is, first of all, the consent variable. Here you can define how the variable that you have collected, the inline consent. It can be a data layer variable, it can be a cookie, first-party cookie, it can be a custom JavaScript. The proper way for your current setup, the easiest way is to include it in the data layer as we do in our own setup. So in order to collect the consent variable, I'm going to create a new data layer one. And now if I go back to my data layer push, you see that I collect here the inline consent. And I click here and I put the name. Let me also name the variable. So I have my inline consent. Now, the same way like we did previously, we need to define which should be the customer data that we are going to share with enhanced conversion setup. So let me just find the email that we created previously. We can name the variable and save. So now what we need to do actually is to modify the user provided data variable that we have created, because as I mentioned earlier, Google Ads conversion tag only receives user provided data variable for the enhanced conversions to work. So instead of the manual configuration, you can go to the code section and you can select the Holini's variable that we have created. Here it is. And click Save. And if we go back to our tags, we have the setup ready. Everything is ready for us to test it. And let's click Preview one more time. And click to submit a form. Let's accept this time, and then I will repeat my example by not accepting the inline consent. And let's see what do we have here. I accepted my data to be shared with Google, so you will see that I have the email available here like we did the last time. But what happens if I go and decline the inline consent? Okay, I won't check this checkbox, and I'm going to send this message. If I go back to my Google tag that was fired, you will see that no email is sent because I declined this consent. If I go back to my variables and search for the Holini one, you will see that the email is not defined because our optional consent is false. Previously, this optional consent was set to true, and then we had the email available. But right now, this is not the case, so we block the consent. And this was it. It's an easy way to set up enhanced conversions and respect your users' choices. It's an easy way to be transparent with your customers so you don't break their trust. So let's see what we have from now on. So I promised also the validation. After some time, when you set up enhanced conversions, you should be able to have this green check on your conversion that enhanced conversions is recorded after 48 hours. It depends, of course, on your data volume. After some time, after some data collection, you should be able to find this report in your own Google Ads account. Of course, I cannot share it live with you because this was a demo account, but this report can also inform you about your enhanced conversions status setup. You can select specific conversions, and you can see the impact on your conversions, either for search or YouTube. So you can have a complete view on how this feature affected your setup. And let me close with some thoughts. Of course, it's essential to use new features to maximize performance, and we need it. And from what we see right now, Google is pushing enhanced conversions. They made mandatory consent mode on this year. And right now, the focus is in first-party data for the future. Even though Google deprecated stopped the third-party deprecation, took it back. They have this vision for first-party data for their platforms. So maybe this is not mandatory now, but we should do some pre-work and understand if this is a solution for us. And if this happens, we already have consent mode based on Google's decisions. And if we set up enhanced conversions for web, we can have a more accurate picture and performance, because if consent is denied in our website, then consent mode can model conversions for the unconsented users. Of course, enhanced conversions cannot be used because we don't have the consent. But also, if we have the consent, we have enhanced conversions, we have recovered conversions, and consent mode can benefit from this information. So their models will be trained in order to bring back more results. And with this, we will have more accurate conversion modeling, we will have more data, and our campaigns can be optimized better. So previously, when we leaned against outdated solutions or with the rise of privacy controls, we lost a lot of data, but there are new solutions like site-wide tracking, like offline conversion tracking, which is very much of importance for B2B businesses, because most of the conversions are happening offline. And then we have enhanced conversions, which can improve our measurement accuracy. And now, I don't know if we have any questions on the chat. We can dedicate some time. No questions? Was I that good? Please take some time. I will wait for 1 minute, a minute or so, if you have something to share. Thank you. Okay, so of course, if you have any questions after the workshop, you can share them with me in my email or with my teammates, of course. I will close for now. Thank you all for coming. Arthur will share a link for your feedback. It will be very important to us. We have? No, I think it was by mistake. Okay, so please leave your feedback. It will be very important to us, either for subjects or how we did today. If you need more information from us, that will be much appreciated. Thank you so much for joining today. Bye-bye.